Shalom, shalom, peace, my people. You know what? I had the audacity to just hop on this Ezekiel 37 and go straight to verse 14, right? Then I looked at the whole chapter and I said, nah, I can't do that. No shortcuts. We're going to deal with this whole thing, right? Um, I was going to post this strictly to TikTok, but I'm going to go ahead and drop this on, the good old YouTube, and just do a separate video for TikTok because I can't shortchange this. I must keep it going while the Ruach is strong. But I'm going to read this and I'm going to speak my piece on it. Let's start at verse 1. The hand of Hayah was upon me and carried me out in the wind of Hayah and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones. And he led me around among them, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and behold, there were very dry. And he said to me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Hayah, my power, you know. And he said to me, Prophesy over these bones, and say to them, O you dry bones, hear the word of Hayah. Thus says Hayah, my power, to these bones, Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live, and I will lay sinews upon you, and I will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and you shall live, and you shall know that I am Hayah. And I prophesied as I was commanded. And as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to its bone. And as I beheld, behold, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. And he said to me, Hayadeh, prophecy to the breath, prophecy, son of man, and say to the breath, Thus says Hayah, my power, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live. And I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and stood up upon their feet, a very large army. Then he said to me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Yasharallah. Israel, right? Behold, they say our bones are dry. They say, that's key. And our hope is lost. We are clean cut off. That's our ancestors, right? That's what they felt for their iniquity, and the curse, you know. And just thinking about their descendants, like, there's no way they're going to turn back to her. Yeah, right. But here we go, verse 12, sorry. Therefore, prophecy, and say to them, Thus says Hayah, my power, Behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Yasharallah. And you shall know that I am Hayah when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up from your graves. And I shall put my spirit in you, and you shall live. And I shall place you in your own land. Then you shall know that I, Hayah, have spoken it and performed it, says Hayah. And the word of Hayah came to me, saying, And you, son of man, take one stick and write upon it for Yahweh and for the people of Yasharallah, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Yahoseh, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the houses of Yasharallah, his companions, and join them one to the other into one stick, and they shall become one in your hand. And when your people shall speak to you, saying, Will you not tell us what you mean by these? Right? That's what we want to know today, right? Say to them, and also our ancestors back then, they didn't understand what was going to take place in the future. Say to them, Thus says Hayah, my power, Behold, I will take the stick of Yahoseh, Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, right? And the tribes of Yasharallah, his companions, right? This is the 10 tribes. And, you know, Joseph is, Ephraim is, you know, tribe of is the son of son of Joseph, which represents a tribe, and it says, and I will put them with him right? Ephraim, the 10 tribes, I will put them with him with the stick of Yahweh, which represents the southern kingdom. For Ephraim represents the northern kingdom, and not just the southern kingdom, but also the seed of David, which is the prince line and the governor, and also the seed of Zadok, which is the high priest line, um, that comes from the Y, and also the Levites, which is the priesthood, you know. So that's all. They also represents the southern kingdom. Then it says, and I will make them one stick, and they shall be one in my hand. Then it says, and the sticks, hold on, let me get my thing. And the sticks on which you write shall be in your hand before your eyes, right? So he sees it. So it's confirmed to him. Trust it for Hayah has, put it before you. And say to them, thus says Hayah, my power, behold, I will take the people of Yasharallah from among the nations where they have gone, and will gather them on every side, for we are spread throughout the four corners of the earth, and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Yasharallah, and one prince shall be prince to them all. See, I say prince because that's a lowercase king, which reference a prince, for Hayah is the king of kings. He's the power. He's the king of Yasharallah, which he states, right, in the book of Isaiah, which we know he is our king. We clamored for a prince to govern us, but Hayah is our king, and he governs all dominions of people, even the prince, of course, right, because he's the king. So let's give him the Malak, right, title that he deserves, and understand that this lowercase king means prince. But it says, and one prince shall be prince to them all, and they shall no more be no more two nations, nor shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all. For this hasn't taken place yet. But I'm speaking my piece after this. Nor shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions, you know. But I will save them in all their dwelling places where they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people. That would be their power. And David, my servant, shall be prince over them, and they shall have one shepherd, right? And they shall also follow my judgments and observe my statutes and do them, right? Let me see if I'm going to stop right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and drop to this 25. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given to Jacob, my servant, where your fathers have dwelt. And they shall dwell in it, and they and their children and their grandchildren forever. And my servant David shall be their what? Prince, like I said, right? Prince forever, for Hayah is the king. And I will make a covenant of peace with them, and that shall be an everlasting covenant with them. And I will place them and multiply them, and set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore. I'm going to stop right there at verse 26 and speak my piece. Now, the whole point of me reading this and going over this is because I'm just thinking about what's going on with Yasharallah today. We have no unity. It's too many dang chiefs and not enough Indians. Everybody want to be the man, the one. Everybody want to have a clique, a camp. Everybody wants to be associated with the strongest units or the most popular units. But don't nobody really want to read for themselves and follow the instructions and the words and the prophecy that Hayah, our power, has presented. Everybody wants to just be followers, right? All you have to do is read. My point of saying all of this is this. Reason why that is so is because, like it says, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom are not one nation yet. And our power, Hayah, has not set up the seed, a descendant of David or David. Now you have to go into Jeremiah chapter 33, and for it talks about that David or David shall always have a son to sit on the throne. Sons, not one. For there are a lot of teachings, a lot of ideologies, a lot of different perspectives and understanding of the scripture. But if you just read what it says, we don't have to have a bunch of understandings. Just one. For it says that David shall always have a son to sit on the throne. And we see the order of Hayah to where that, it's going to be a continuance, not just a solo act. Like David is not coming back to sit on the throne, because that would break the covenant made with David that he should always have a son. That's just simple understanding, simple mathematics. And that would make Hayah not the the first and the last. For Hayah is the first and he's the last. He lives forever. We don't. So David can't come back and live forever. So when that certain descendant is risen up and we become one nation, Hayah is king before us, and we're not dependent on all these solo acts who are really doing a lot of things for monetary gain on these different platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, etc., etc. They really doing things for the wrong reason, just gathering all the Indians and playing chief. We got a lot of she messiahs, a lot of he messiahs, but I'm not even gonna really just direct this towards them. Just a lot of different shepherds, a lot of teachers, but a lot of them are just spewing like individualism. Like we're not coming together. Like we're just trying to prove whose doctrine is greater, teaching is greater, like who's bringing more clarity, not coming together. Like what happened to us just being Yasharala? Let's just come together, But everybody wants to be the man. The man. Everybody wants to have the title of, or the credit that I did it. I brought us together. I'm the smartest. I'm the one. I'm chosen. I'm Neo. You know, nah, that's not what it is. But reason why it's like that is because we're not one nation yet. This prophecy has not taken place yet. That's why it's like that. The northern kingdom and the southern kingdom has not came together yet. Hayah, our power has not performed this yet. But so my point of saying all of this is, if possible, for not all will come to this understanding. Stop following men. What Hayah say? What did he tell Samuel? Look not at the outer appearance, for Hayah chooses the heart. Men and women chooses the physical appearance, stature. They hear the words or the presentation of certain men and women and say, this is what I will follow, rather than following the heart and the true intent of a person. This is why Hayah always raises up the least popular or the unexpected. Because for one, how y'all can groom him and keep him humble. It's like, why would Hayat choose someone great, someone arrogant, for them to say that I did it? I knew I was chosen. I knew I could be. I know why you picked me, rather than Hayat chooses the unexpected. Probably someone who's running from, the calling, or has it. It's not even entering their mind. Afflicted, going through so much, right? But we as people choose who we feel is great. Great speakers, singers. Hayat loves great speakers too, great singers. But in this particular perspective, we chooses we choose from the vanity of our heart, eyes, and mind, soul, right? Nowadays we call it the vibes and vibrations and energies, all that nonsense. We don't look to the heart of anyone. And if we do look to the heart of someone, we look to match someone's heart that's similar to ours, rather than a heart that's after Hayaz. It's not seeking credibility or nothing. Look at all the nonsense on these platforms. So many people just rising up, just not exalting Hayah, but exalting themselves, putting themselves on a pedestal before the people, like like causing the people to serve man before Hayah, to look at an image, or to to look at a description, and to look at a physical form of strength and power, and base things on numbers, and like and followers, and subscribers, rather than someone's humbleness and contrite spirit and brokenness before higher, like characteristics that he delights in, and more importantly, strictly off the words of the book. A lot of people have different interpretations of the book, or of what's written, should I say. They have interpretations that they go off of. What about what's written? Certain things are, I get that it's a parable. Certain things need further breaking down. Like certain things are written so poetically to where you have to put it in its proper perspective. But a lot of things is very simplistic and repetitive. For Hayat is very simplistic and repetitive. He was repetitive because he wants you to understand, and it's simplistic so you can understand. That's just knowing about. But I'm just asking people to, like, come together, like, stop following, like, strengths in numbers, and strengths of physicality, and strengths of camps, and strengths of platforms, and strengths of dominions, and strengths of knowledge. It's not about that. It's about the heart. It's about the intent. It's about the reasoning. It's about humbleness. Can we return to that? Who are the people that Hayah praised? Masha, Moses, right? Abram, right? Um, David, right? Um, what do they have in common? Humbleness. Heart after his. Uh, obedience to instructions. Were commandment keepers of him, and didn't seek attention like David, he didn't seek the throne and didn't want to be on the throne, even when even when Saul was killed. David wasn't so quick to rush and sit on the throne. He mourned his fallen brother and his fallen prince, and he was in Hebron, right? He was, he didn't just like, yay! I've been anointed since I was a youth. It's time for me to sit in the rain. Let's go. No, he didn't. He understood the obligations, and he also understood that how Yah makes it hard to be a prince because we clamored for one, and we didn't acknowledge the difficulties, and we weren't grateful for the kingship that Hayah put before us. Gave us everything we wanted for nothing. Same thing with Masha, right? Masha was humble. He didn't live the lifestyle and the customs. He had to be taught this and deal with murmuring and clamorous people, and just imagine the stress in Abraham. The difficulties he faced. And wanting a child and just seeking the approval of how God just wanted validation that he is who he is, and walking blindly, but just obeying the voice and holding on tightly to a promise, a covenant that was made with him and I, that he shall be a father of many nations. His seed shall be multiplied. So just think about the men that I chosen, and just think about the men and women you choose today to seek, follow, listen to, and adhere to. But always remember this Ezekiel right here. Things won't come into play how you really want it and be unified how you truly want it until we become one nation. Until Hayah perform all his wonders and his will upon the nations by bringing down the nations before us, humbling us, refining us, our uncircumcised hearts, and making us submit unto him and accept of our punishments and not be so self-entitled to his promises. Yes, he has put forth promises and oaths before us, but that's for a peculiar people, a humble, broken, bruised remnant, right? A remnant who has been tried and refined as silver and gold and bronze, and went through the fire, the heat, and has, endured, whose hope was in Hayah. So just make sure your hope is in Hayah and not in these men of today. Get to know the point and the purpose and the intent of who you're listening to and following. And just because your perspectives is different from, others' perspectives, that you don't be so prideful to where you won't even listen to someone who may carry the heart and intent and the will of I, because it would be a humble one before you. If they out for like for money, and they got cash apps up, and they want you to support in that manner or sort, nah, get that out of here, man. Like I said, and we won't be bought, man. And this is not for sale. None of this is for sale. Like, this is if a man or woman carries the word of Hayat, it's like you don't sell that. It's not a price to that. You give that. You know what I'm saying? If you have it to give, you give it. You don't put a price on it. You don't make it hard. You don't make it non affordable. You don't benefit from it financially. You know? Your benefit from it should be just to please Hayat. Alright, I'm gonna end this off right here. When we do a part two, I want to talk about some things. Just let me know. But right now, I'm just getting back to the flow of things and just, you know, speaking on what I see and just want to do, the will of I. So, peace, my people. And Barakatah, Bahaya, Shahaya, Ahava. I love you, Aya. Peace, y'all. Peace. Alright. Don't forget to read this Ezekiel for yourself, you know what I mean? We're going to end it like that, y'all.